You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Bridge After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Bridge After Show.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Bridge After Show. We've got some suspense, maybe not as much craziness as last week because that was intense, but we got some follow-ups, a lot of things happening, a lot of depressing things happening. But speaking of depressing things, Tommy's with us again. Tommy Rasera back again. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Good to see you, Dave.
Great face. I'm glad to see you. And also Paige Sullivan.
Yes, hi everyone.
And guys, I'm Dave Klein, just more depressed than ever now after tonight's episode.
You're depressed about it?
I don't know. It was just like, there's the Goose scene at the beginning where we're just like, no, it was so sad. Like, you don't want to watch a sad kid.
I mean, yeah, I feel for Goose a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I do, but I mean, I feel like he's gonna make it out of this whole
Yeah,
this whole
I know
debacle.
he's not gonna do it.
I think so too. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk about Charlotte and Ray. Charlotte going off the handle a little bit, but we'll debate that. Because first we've got the moment where she's coming out of the reading and finding out she's basically got not much except for the land and the tunnel, which Ray thinks is a win.
Well, it doesn't say "and the tunnel." It's
Well,
like
yeah.
the house and the land, which
And
first
the
off,
tunnel.
that's not really. She didn't lose.
What did she not get? That's the thing.
She didn't get the cars, the art, the furniture, the money. There must have been money. He must have had some sort of money.
But she got the tunnel.
But look at him. She got the
Is there a
tunnel.
tunnel under there?
But she did get the tunnel. But I think she should be happy. That house is worth millions. The land is worth millions. She's gonna be fine, money-wise.
And she has the tunnel too. She can make a lot of money off. You know, she
No,
keeps operating the
because
tunnel.
she's pissed off. She hasn't told Ray yet that Graciella's dead. Remember, they weren't
Yeah.
gonna tell Ray.
Yeah.
So Ray's like, "We've got the tunnel. We've got the tunnel." What do they have? Nothing really, because they've got nobody on the other side.
They got a tunnel, though.
They've got a tunnel.
Yeah, they got a tunnel. If you like tunnels, you're set. But they do have a lot of land, though, so that's still a pretty big win,
It's a
even
nice-
though Kate seems to think that she got the best of it.
Well, she did. She probably got the horses too. That's probably cost.
Well, one of them, not
yeah,
all
that's
the
true.
horses though.
Not all. There's one that's.
There's the one that's already
Rio.
dead.
He's left us for a better place.
He was on luck. That's a reference that not many of you will get, and I made it anyways.
I didn't get it.
So, so yeah, Kate though excited that she got the furniture. She got a lot of things out of it, but I mean, really, the land's got to have a lot of value. But they end up going to take care of the Tim problem, as they call it, and they're going out to the middle of the desert, which is where you have discreet meetings. Tim in his ice cream truck again,
Yeah.
in the middle of the desert. Good thing there weren't any kids around
Whoa.
going for that ice cream.
I'd be concerned if there's kids in the desert all alone, but I just think it's silly that he's even out there. He's not wired. The cops aren't on him. I don't understand. Kind of like Tim says, like the ATF have completely forgotten about him.
I thought it was kind of dumb for Charlotte and Ray to go out there. Anyways, seeing that could have been a chance that he could have been wired. I mean, they just let's meet out there.
Right.
I mean, he already screwed him once. Why wouldn't he? Why wasn't he wired? That's what I want to know.
They didn't ask prior to talking to him.
It's very surprising that, to me, it just makes Tim seem like an idiot. Like, Tim knows he just pulled something on them. He knows that, and yet he's like, oh, they want to meet with me in the middle of the desert. Oh, it's got to be nothing. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll go do that. It's
he
fine.
Didn't really seem like he was like, oh, it's fine. He was like, why am I here? He looked on
but the fact
edge.
that he, even would do it.
Here's the thing. These are his best friends from when he was a kid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
They
assume
played
that.
kickball together.
Yeah, they played kickball together. I wouldn't assume that the guy who played on my little league team would come out there and murder me, and he didn't.
No, just the girl who played from the sideline. I don't know. Maybe
The
she played kickball, too.
cold-hearted.
Did anybody?
Charlotte.
I kind of actually liked Ray, and Ray went up in stock. Charlotte went down in stock.
Because he seemed like a stand-up guy, not wanting to kill his friend over something like money and drugs. And,
It's pretty impressive. I mean, you get points for not wanting to kill your friend.
like, I can't shoot my friend because
Yeah, no, that made me endear me to Ray a little bit more, because before I just completely disliked his character, and that was the one endearing moment he's had
Here's
so
the thing.
far.
He seems like one of those guys who's greedy and does stupid things, but he's not necessarily a bad person. You know, he doesn't mean ill will towards anybody. He's not going to go kill people. He's not trying to hurt Charlotte or hurt Tim or hurt anybody. But at the same time, he's not a great guy.
No, I mean, I'll agree with that. I don't think he's necessarily a bad person in that regard. Like, I don't think he means any ill problems. That doesn't mean I think he's a great character, like a great person, you know?
Do you think we overestimated Charlotte's character, though? She came off as this loving wife, this great person, and now she's the one making all these bad decisions.
I was very surprised.
Where was the turn there? Like, I didn't feel like all of a sudden, boom, she's crazy.
Well, maybe she really was crazy. Maybe that's why Kate hates her. Maybe that's why her husband wanted a divorce, because she was awful.
No, it's like when you get a tattoo. After you get the first one, people get addicted and they need more. She had her first blood, and now she's addicted and she needs more.
She killed Patrick Swayze's brother. It's not cool.
Not cool.
Yeah.
Well, we assume.
Patrick Swayze is going to come for her.
I know, wouldn't that be funny? Like Tim's brother shows up.
That would be
It's okay,
fantastic.
what the
And
hell?
it is Patrick Swayze.
I don't know. I just
That'd be
think
amazing.
I just think it was kind of silly for Charlotte to kill him. I think, but then again, okay, they're gonna go looking for Tim. Killing him doesn't solve the problem. Now the ATF are just gonna know. They know where he went. They know where it was delivered. They know everything. So when they find out he's dead, they're coming to you.
What do you think they did with the body and the ice cream truck? Do you think they're gonna show that?
I
Or
bet they put it in the ice cream truck.
Right? And then they lit it on fire. I guess they're in the middle of the desert. They could bury it anywhere.
They could literally.
Yeah, but the truck, they can bury the truck.
But they could leave him.
Yeah, well, they could just leave the truck in the middle of the desert
Couldn't
somewhere.
they just leave him too? Like, wouldn't a coyote come and like eat him or something?
Probably.
Don't you think maybe?
It's the circle of life. The circle of life. Come on, I think that's the best idea, the best way to do it.
To have him eaten by a coyote.
Yeah, because then at least they're letting the circle of life continue. Why not?
They're letting the coyote
Yeah,
thrive.
but I was definitely, I wasn't, I mean, even like, okay, the Graciela thing seemed a little bit more.
She had to.
Right, she had to. I'm saying this one, I know she had to.
No, she didn't have to kill him.
I get, like, in her mind, she had to. But I still was surprised that she did it.
I don't dislike her for it. I think she's protecting herself. She didn't put herself in this situation. Tim had no problem throwing her under the bus and having her arrested and losing basically her life and going to jail. So why should she care about killing him to save herself?
I guess you make a point.
I mean, not saying that killing is ever a good thing. You shouldn't kill people.
I mean, I also have to wonder how long it's been since she's seen him. Because, I mean, like...
Years.
Right? Because, I mean, I still like all my friends and my buddies from back home from, like, elementary school, but... I mean, some of them, it's like, okay, I don't remember them that well.
Like,
friends on Facebook.
Yeah, we're
Dave's
friends
like
on
going
Facebook.
over in his head, like, would I kill them?
I really
would
am.
I shoot them?
Do we even know exactly how they were all buddies back in the day anyways?
I think they all just probably went to school together. He said, I took you to prom in my RV. So I'm just assuming they were childhood friends. They all just went to school together, grew up together. And then obviously she went a different route than the rest of them.
Yeah, I'd take that way too. Or she just got married to a rich dude and moved away. That was it.
Gold digger.
Gold digger.
She's back in that route, though. She's back in the...
Yeah, she also seems now, she says she's not a gold digger, but she seems like a gold digger now, and she's furious she got nothing from her husband's death. It's like, shouldn't you just be sad he's dead? Like,
No.
There was no morning time.
No, she just hopped into bed with Marco, hopped into bed with Ray.
Well, I guess like maybe she, I don't know. She has mixed emotions because she got divorced from him too, and yeah.
Well, she didn't.
He wanted to.
Yeah.
She got dumped.
And she also immediately found out about the tunnel, so that must have been a blow to her system.
Right.
It might have been like, oh, so I was married to a huge liar.
Right.
Who knew?
Ryan Whittleson in the chat saying he was pretty shocked she gunned down Tim. And Joseph Boza saying, me too. I guess Charlotte wants Tim and Graciela to learn the karma is a biatch.
Oh yeah, you were on Twitter saying that. You're all about the karma, Joseph, and I agree. I think she's the karma queen at this point. She really is sticking it to the man. But little theory I just came up with in my head. Maybe she was only left with the home and the land because he didn't want to leave his daughter with the tunnel. I mean, that's his innocent kid. It's somebody who didn't even live there. Why would he leave her with that?
So he wanted to leave her stuck in the mess that is the tunnel.
Because she's an adult. Yes.
She
What do
can
you
deal
think?
with it.
What do you think he left Caesar?
Nothing.
Caesar's Palace.
Nothing.
I don't know. A salad.
For
Caesar
Caesar.
salad. No, I think that home that he lives in, they probably bought. So
Yeah, it's
I
gotta
think
be a
he
nice
probably
home.
just got his house
At least,
out
like,
of it.
you know what though? The one thing I really like about Charlotte is she's nice to Caesar. I like that a lot.
She's nice to him, but she also makes him dig graves for
Yeah.
people that they murder together.
And she threw him in. Yeah, he's all involved. He's up in the mix now. Well, he already was.
He was
Well,
in the
he
mix
put
before.
himself in the mix. He knew about
He
it.
was like, you don't want to know about that. I'll take care of it. But let's go ahead and move forward to Daniel. Daniel
Enough
Frye.
of Charlotte.
Yeah.
Enough of Charlotte. Enough of this. Daniel Frye, because he fell off the wagon. drinking again.
I didn't see that coming. Because he was doing pretty well.
He was going, what, 2 episodes strong of sober, or
Yeah.
1.5
Yeah,
maybe.
like
2-ish.
Two,
Yeah,
I think
2.
he went through that giant withdrawal and already gave it up.
And then he couldn't go to the party with Adriana because he didn't want to drink. And
Yeah.
I don't know, but we learned some new information about him.
Yeah, we find out why, because as it comes to light about what really happened and who David Tate is and the killer, he realizes now that he was involved in all these killings in a sense.
Here's the thing. He's like, I helped kill that woman. Like, you didn't.
Well, he didn't help kill
You
her.
didn't kill. Yes, you were like, go get more coke, but then you stumbled away and like walked home anyways. Santi Jr. shouldn't have been driving. He clipped them. He drove off. I understand where
I don't
he's
think
guilty.
that's
though.
what he's upset
It was
about.
more
He's,
so
he's
the-
upset that he took the money or took the job.
Well, yeah, it was more so
Got
the not ratting
paid-
out Santi
yeah,
Jr.
that he
Yeah.
got paid off. But I mean, what? Does he really think if he ratted him out, they would have gone after him because it would have been his word against Santi Jr. as one of the richest people in Mexico?
Yeah, but still, I mean,
But
He
it
did-
seems like in Mexico, his dad had a lot of sway, like with
I'm sure he
with
did.
the police.
Yeah.
So it would maybe depend on which part of the bridge it happened on, if it was on the Mexican side or the American
Yeah, that's
side.
right. It would
Well, I
definitely
think
matter.
I think the strip club, it seems like now, is on the American side.
Right, but he was clipped her on the bridge when she was headed to Mexico. So I don't know if they were in Mexico when it happened or in America, because if it was in Mexico, Daniel Frye could have said anything he wanted and he probably still wouldn't have been of any help to Santi Jr. because even when he was killed, they said, if we don't find this guy, we're going to jail. Apparently that's how much power that family has. That if
Yeah.
you just don't find his killer, you go to jail.
But I mean, do you think? But Daniel Frye was on the American side. Like, do you think?
He could have said something to American authorities.
Well, yeah.
He could have, but does that have any jurisdiction in Mexico? Like, we can't.
I don't know if it does. I mean, well, they might, but I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm curious.
Like,
actually.
I
Wasn't it? I mean, it was Mrs. Tate.
But
It
if
wasn't-
she was in Mexico,
yeah, but it
doesn't
was still an
matter.
American crime. I mean, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know. If somebody's killed in Mexico and they're American, it doesn't necessarily mean America has any say in how that goes down.
No, I don't think they
It's
do.
just because there's all those shows on TV where it's like locked up abroad and we can't get the
Yeah.
Americans back to America. Like,
Yeah, well,
That's a good
because that's
show.
why you always escape abroad too for any convicted felonies.
you
like,
leave to another country.
Right, they go to another country. So yeah, so I don't think that America would have any say in the jurisdiction. I'm
So-
sure they could try to force something on it and be like, well, you really need to, take care of that. But
I think, in the bottom line, though, I think he
Daniel
could
just
have
feels
done the
guilty.
right
Yeah.
thing.
Would have been to step up to the plate.
Right.
Yes.
But
So-
then again, he's an alcoholic coke addict at the time. I mean, nobody's really expecting the best out of him.
and he got the job of his dreams.
The Houston Times. or
Which I
whatever.
also want to know how he lost because now he's working in El Paso.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paso Times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I'm
maybe
only-
maybe alcoholic coke addict.
Yeah, I'm only assuming that's a downgrade going
Paso
from
Times,
Houston
El Paso
to El Paso.
PD.
No,
No
El
offense.
Paso's the top of the. Yeah, no, I'm sure it probably has to do with this drug abuse. But
Yeah.
Adriana convinces him to go to rehab.
I genuinely like their friendship.
Yeah, I do too.
do too, except for. Well, I'll wait till it because it's after the scene.
Okay, so they go to rehab, and at first Daniel Frye just trying to put on a facade of
The funny guy.
the funny guy, laugh everything off, and then he legitimately seems to break down about everything that's
I
happened
liked
to him.
that. I think that was great acting. He did a really good job of convincing me
Yeah.
that he wanted to change. But then again, I guess a lot of alcoholics do that.
Yeah.
So
But it was good though to see that change though. Like I like that he had that facade at first, and then it was a good snap and change from his acting.
yeah, no, I agree.
Does anyone else think he reminds you of Chandler from Friends, except
Yes.
the alcoholic, older, out of shape version of?
Yeah, he
Chandler
does.
from
He
Friends?
looks like it, especially in that scene with the glasses. Yeah, he did look like Chandler from. I love Friends though. So
I don't know. I love Friends too,
Friends is my favorite.
and I sometimes
Besides
feel
The
very
Bridge,
much like Chandler.
obviously.
I also mask my pain with humor,
Oh,
just
do
like
you?
Chandler
Yeah,
And David. Fry.
And David
and
Frye.
David Frye.
I don't know. I liked that he broke down. I didn't necessarily like that Adriana. First off, she drags him to AA, and then she
At 7 a.m.
She hits him, and she's like, "Don't fool around." It's like he's still drunk, and you brought him here. Like you should have at least let him sober up.
Yeah, because he's like, I just drank 90 minutes ago.
But
yeah.
what was that? I mean, it was the meeting was at 7 a.m. Was he just drinking the whole night through?
Yes, I think so.
Just as one last hurrah.
I think
yeah,
so.
I think so.
I mean, at least like I think she just wanted to get him there.
I know, and I'm proud of her for sticking by him. But I love how she's still so real with him. He's like, I think you're my only real friend, and she's like, that's pathetic.
Yeah, but that was
it's pathetic because she's probably like, I don't even really like you. Like I only work with you.
She does.
I think
she
she's learning to like him, but she didn't like him.
No. But she stuck around.
Yeah, I think she's endeared herself to him.
But how long has it been? How long's their friendship been, you think? A month? 2 months?
10 episodes?
Yeah,
10
episodes.
episodes?
10 episodes long.
10 episodes long?
But I also like that real moment from Daniel, though, of him admitting that she's his only friend. That's basically all he has, so.
And then he goes to AA because of her.
Yeah. Can we just say that David Tate is an effing magician?
Wait, so was he sitting in on that meeting? On that AA
I
meeting?
think so.
How did
I
he
wouldn't
know?
have put it past him.
But how did I didn't see him in that circle because I was so focused on Daniel Frye.
Yeah,
He
that'd
could
be
have been
funny
sitting
if he
there.
was just sitting
He was
there.
conducting the meeting.
Maybe, but why? How did he know Daniel Frye was
Yeah,
going to be there?
how did he know he was there?
How does he have time? Because he's got a lot of
Yeah.
other schemes going on right now. That's
Yeah,
a
he
good
had
point.
to drive and
He
drop
had to get
off
there.
Goose in his drowning bucket, and then he had to go steal Daniel Frye, and then he
His
had
drowning
to
bucket.
then he had to go meet Marco. It's like this guy
That's
must
a busy day.
his iCal must just be like
He's got to have an intern.
perfectly timed.
Oh, he's been waiting
He has
for
an
this.
intern.
He's been waiting for this. He's like, this is go time. This is what I've been waiting for the past 2 years. But yeah, he's like, I swear, he's a magician. Like, he's just, how could he do all of this? And how could he know?
It makes me sad that Daniel Frye finally has this breakthrough, and then this horrific thing's about to happen to him. We can only assume.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. Adriana did not look like she was just kind of like, oh, he's getting. I mean, did she think he was just driving out? There was no shock in her
Well,
She
it
looks
looks
reaction.
perplexed to me.
She
Yeah,
was
she
just
was
kinda like-
confused.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, holy shit. Maybe she thought he was driving off.
Well, that's
or
what. Do you think maybe he did the meeting and now he's like, oh crap, why did I do that? And now he's like running away, or
Yeah,
what
like
was she doing inside anyway? She was in there.
It sounded like they were getting coffee or something.
yeah, it looked like she was getting coffee.
Because, like, I took it as, like, she walked out, she saw him driving away, and she looked perplexed. And to me, I think it was more, like, confused, like, was he not happy about this? Is he upset about what he has to do? You know, like, I'm sure she just thinks it's conflicting emotions from going to the meeting.
Yeah, and then she goes to the police.
And then
though.
she realizes.
So it must click, or maybe I don't know.
Ryan Whittleson thinks that David Tate must have followed him. And, yeah, Joseph Bose is saying, that was my question, too. How in the hell did David Tate know where Daniel was? He's a magician.
Or
He's on the top of his game right now. I think he's
he
just,
knows
hitting me-
everything.
Yeah.
He knows everything.
Yeah,
Maybe
there's
he
some
has
there's some
GPS.
things I accept in this show. Like, okay, I guess like I like the FBI thing. Like maybe he has some ex-FBI contacts for figuring that stuff out. But like this was the one thing I was just like, what the hell, David Tate? How do you know this? How could you possibly know that they made this last-minute decision all of the sudden?
Well, maybe
Maybe-
when he was
The
recently
GPS
near him.
tracker on his
yeah,
car,
he put
maybe?
a GPS tracker. That's what I was thinking. Like, or his cell phone. Maybe he knows how to track cell phones. Or
Or maybe Adriana is in on the
no.
whole thing.
What a twist!
No. I don't think so.
Nah, but maybe there's a GPS tracker. That's the only thing I can imagine would be a GPS tracker.
Or even just you look up somebody's cell phone, you can usually find it.
I mean, he was maybe.
There's that website.
Yeah, there's like one of those websites where you can like track.
Like I can
people.
track you. There's like a
Like,
website I can track you.com.
Is there
where you
one
can
that's
find where
like
someone
called like
exactly where someone is.
crazygirlfriend.com where they can like find their boyfriend via their cell phone? No,
Oh,
I'm
no.
pretty sure that exists. I'm pretty sure that
Oh, like,
exists.
does that exist?
Maybe Charlotte
You
uses
been on
it.
that
or...
site?
Oh.
No, I haven't been on that site. I'm
That's
just
why we know that.
saying. I'm sure there's a crazy boyfriend one too. So
But yeah, so Adriana though does end up coming up and realizing it and reporting that he's missing. So
and Hank's like trying to quiet her down, and she's like, "No, you don't get it. Like he was paid off. He was part of the the
yeah,
hit
so
and run."
it is great though that she was able to have that scene, because if that scene hadn't happened beforehand, she would probably have not made that realization. It's only because Daniel Frye admitted to her why everything was happening to him, why he was chosen in the car. Because, I mean, I'm sure Daniel just had that realization, too. Maybe that's why he's drinking again. Was he probably had no idea up until that point why he was chosen as the person
Right, I
in the
think
car.
you're right. And then maybe he just broke through and figured it out.
Right, he figured it out, and that was what set
Then
him
again,
off.
he didn't know it was David Tate.
No,
and
well,
now
I'm
he
s-
knows it's David
Right,
Tate.
but I'm saying that's why he
Yeah.
figured it out and set him off.
Yeah. I also think I'm really glad that she did come forward and say, I think this is what's happening, because otherwise we would have no idea Daniel was gone. And not that he's a great guy, but I don't want him to die. I want
Yeah.
everything to be okay. And the only person who would have known is Marco.
Yeah,
'cause he sees
Marco
the car.
figuring it out.
But Marco doesn't have
Damn.
his phone. So it's like he makes him throw his phone away.
He
So,
kind of chucks
Or a
it.
gun.
well, yeah, he gets
He
rid
has
of
a
it all.
gun. He doesn't get rid of it.
Oh, yeah, actually,
He
he
didn't-
says he can keep his
He
gun.
says, good, keep it.
Oh yeah, but he didn't have a gun. Well, it's another scene. I'll wait.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and talk about the beginning of the show. The beginning where we've got Kenneth Hastings / David Tate with Goose, and that was an emotional scene. Like Goose.
Poor Goose, he's so emotional. He's so upset.
Yeah.
he's a 19-year-old boy crying. I just I don't.
I was really hoping for Goose to pull some move where he just gets out of the car, but
That's
I was
what
hoping
I'm
for Goose to
saying.
pull a lot of moves.
Like, okay, kick him in the head. Open the door with your hands. Just because they're cuffed together doesn't mean they
and they're
don't
in the front,
work.
too. You can still.
Yeah, they work like this. He could have just been like, pop, and then open the door.
Maybe it's that thing he just got into a car accident. He's like, I don't want to jump out of a car now.
Maybe.
I think it runs in the family though, because the mom last week wasn't doing any good
She's
moves.
just got the
there was
the
not-
grenade in her hand. She's like, what
Yeah.
do we do? What do we do?
Yeah, it's just like, get rid of it.
Just try, make an effort.
Like he made no effort, and now he's in this tub thing, filling up with water, and he could have plugged that.
Can I say
like
that's the
your
first
idea.
thing I said?
That was
Yeah.
My first thing right when it happened, I'm like, lay on your back and use your foot to plug the hole.
See, at first I had no idea why you were saying that. I thought you just said lay on your back, and I was like, that's not gonna help him.
Yeah.
but after it
Because
was,
then you can float, right?
when it was like this high, he could put his head in there.
Right.
So just slow it down.
Anything.
But
Put
my
a-
very first thought
put an
was
arm
lay on your
up.
back. Think for a moment, lay on your back, put your foot and plug the hole.
You think he's tall enough to do that?
It
Yeah.
looked like it was. Like he could lay on his back and just like,
It
I
might
mean,
not be
I don't know.
comfortable.
I don't know how long he could hold it, but at least he could hold it to survive a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You
Or
know?
couldn't he stand up?
Yeah, he could
Yeah,
stand
Couldn't
up.
he
Well, that's
not
why-
shoulder.
stand
Yeah, well,
up?
that's why Tommy would say put his head and plug it with his head.
Like, it's not that difficult. Get on your feet.
Wait, are
It's
his hands?
difficult.
Wait, I forgot. Are
His hands are tied behind his back, but I don't
Okay.
know if his feet are. Maybe his feet are tied together, so he can't figure out a way to get up. But he's moving around pretty good.
Yeah, he
so.
was standing. I think,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
No, I think he was on his knees. I don't know.
I think he does. Yeah, he gets like his.
He didn't
knees.
try,
Never
though. That's
stands
the
up,
bottom
though.
line.
Yeah.
Bottom line is these people need to put in a little more effort into saving their lives. Is what
Yeah.
I think they should do.
I wanted to see some like shoulder rubbing action, try and get the tape off his mouth.
Yeah, I did too. I wanted to see that, because then maybe I don't know where he is, but I have a good feeling Sonya will find him.
Sonya knows.
Yeah,
She's onto it.
Poor
Sonya's
Sonya
got
though.
it.
She leaves the hospital because she's so upset that she's let Marco down and that she didn't protect Goose.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and talk about that scene where first we get Sonya in the ambulance telling Marco, like, that's the thing she's saying. That's all she can think about is the license plate number and what the car is, trying to tell him and get some info out there.
Yeah.
And it goes,
What is it? 2EO. 2EO.
2EO.
2EO.
2EO. I just kept thinking of ET for some reason. Like,
ET 2EO.
Yeah, I don't know why. But,
Sonya never stops working though. I mean, she clearly needs to like a day off in the hospital.
well, she fixates on things, and she can't stop. She's not going to be able to stop.
No one else. Everyone else is kind of enabling them. No one's like, "Hey, Sonya, maybe you should stay here." They're like, "Oh yeah, cool."
Because I think they know they can't. I mean, I think they'd rather help her than have her do it on her own.
I thought she was gonna pass out halfway through the episode with the
Yeah, I know, with the blood
like,
coming
yeah.
out.
bullet
Still
wound.
bleeding.
Or,
I really like Kitty. Kitty's taking care of her, giving her milk and bananas.
and
I
more-
know,
more-
Kitty was cool.
I thought the same thing as Sonya, though, because I don't like bananas. And I was like, oh, banana.
Oh,
And
I
she's like,
love
I don't like
bananas.
But Sonya's like, I don't eat bananas. And I'm like,
Paige,
girl,
hold
girl
up.
by my own heart.
You need to get that potassium, all right?
I'll
Hey,
get it.
bananas are great.
Bananas are the best.
Bananas are the mushiest food in America.
We're having an intervention. Paige intervention with bananas.
I know. Well, I think if I was in Sonya's condition, I would just eat whatever, because obviously she's taking all these pain pills and she's not eating. She's just like running around. That's
Yeah.
bound to weigh you on your
Definitely.
bet.
Mm-hmm.
But in between that, we've got Marco going back and talking to Alma and trying to.
She is not a happy girl.
Well, I
With
mean,
good reason.
yeah, she basically just found out everything's happening because what do you know? Marco cheated on someone else.
But you do okay. This is my thing. It's like David Tate's doing these things. You don't blame Marco for them. A lot of bad things happen in the world, and you can't just take it out on everybody around you because they happen to you. Just like Marco says, he's like, people get their families ripped apart every single day, and they don't turn into killers. It's not an excuse. Marco might be an adulterer, or he might have done Alma wrong or done David Tate wrong. Doesn't mean David Tate can go killing 15, 20 plus people.
I mean, I didn't take it as she was blaming him for everything that was happening.
know. I think she
he
is.
was taking it that way. I think from her perspective, it's more of just the shock of finding out. Wait, so like she's already mad at him because he cheated on her, and
She cheated back. She's
well,
not
she-
a great
yeah.
girl.
Yeah, but still,
And she's pregnant.
regardless, I'm just saying that I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just saying that right afterward, because I don't like that either.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless, the point is then now she's finding out like, oh, so you cheated on your person before me with someone who was married, and
Right. And she says, you guys are friends.
I thought she already knew about this one, but wasn't there another one?
I thought she already
didn't
knew
he-
about this one too.
Did he cheat on her with somebody? There was another
No.
one.
This was the other one.
No,
But-
he cheated on his previous wife with
Yeah.
somebody, and that's what ruined that marriage, and that's what Goose blames him for. He says, this is the second time you've done this, because now
Right.
Goose's new family with Alma is being destroyed again because of his father's actions.
Right.
I'm assuming the first
So
woman
this is the
he-
first time it's happened to Alma with him, I believe.
Yes, but the
But-
first time, I don't even know if Jill was the first time or if that was after his marriage already
I
disintegrated.
think it was the first time.
But we would have to assume Jill was the one that broke up his first marriage.
Right.
I mean, I kind of see Alma's point of view though. I'd be kind of pissed.
Well, I see why she's mad. After him saving her, I think a lot of women would be like, oh, he's like our hero, whatever. But she's furious. And I kind of like that because I was thinking to myself after last episode, how can they go from both having cheated on each other and hating each other and having, such strong feelings, like especially Alma, she dove right into a new relationship and she had no regard for Marco or his feelings. How could they ever go back to just being,
Well, it's going to be a little rocky period, of course.
So do you think she went to stay with her brother and father, or do you think he finally got her into a safe place, like a safe house? I kind of hope a safe house because if David Tate has more plans,
I would get the hell out of El Paso at this time, or Juarez. I would just leave that, go up somewhere.
Go to Cabo.
Yeah, definitely go somewhere.
Anywhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I guess we'll find out next week.
Yeah, I worry about her. I see why she's mad, but she should be taking his help.
I agree with you though. I would have been surprised, not surprised per se, but I'd say like after the whole grenade thing, you would have expected, especially from like a show, you would have expected like, oh, okay, they're back together and now they're happy, it solved everything because they had this death or life's experience together. But I mean, you kind of, it's kind of weird because like you see none of that here. Like you think they'd have at least some of this.
Even with
like,
Ghost missing, like you would think.
Like okay, we just survived this horrific thing, and you think that would bring them together at least a little bit.
I don't know. I feel like I was watching a different show where they said, sometimes tragedies like this bring people together, and for other people it pulls them apart.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just too much for their relationship. Despite all of the betrayals in the relationship, it's just too much.
I guess
stuff.
I think of it as being something that would like bring you together. But I guess you're right.
I guess it's the way you react. Like some people are very emotional, some people are very methodical about things. So maybe it's just how Alma and Marco are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
she's not showing though.
No.
By the way, like her belly.
Well,
it's only been
like a long time.
I know we have to figure how long it's been, but I don't know.
Because he just found out at the beginning of the show that she was pregnant again.
I think in the TV time, it's only been.
I know, isn't
a
that
matter
the
of like
hardest
a week
thing?
Or two.
It's probably been like a
no, I think it's like a month.
I think it's been like a
more.
month. Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
I don't know. I wish they would tell you, like, at the beginning of every episode, like, what day it is. It's like, it has been 31 days since the first episode. Like, that's what I wish we had. Very confusing.
But back in the office, we have Sonya. And Sonya is now, as you were talking about before, she's very upset talking to Marco. As Marco's breaking down about everything, and Sonya's upset because she couldn't help, and she failed Marco, failed to protect Goose. And, they just have this kind of... They're both breaking down about everything happening around them and how helpless they kind of were.
Yeah, and then they find that car, and Marco has a real breakdown.
Yeah. They find the parking ticket.
Yeah, the parking ticket. I get where it led them because it's a parking ticket. It had an address on it. It was on the bridge the night of the murder, or the night of, finding the judge and Christina Fuentes. So it leads them to, I guess, a nursing home. Where
well, real quick though, that scene had your favorite line
had my
of the
favorite
episode. Paige was very excited about this.
Game. Yeah, I just called it. I knew that's where it was going to be because from the preview, that was the part that stood out the most. Was I thought it would be further into the episode. I thought we'd have a lot more information.
End on that.
And I also.
This is not a game.
I thought he was going to be on the phone with David Tate, like screaming, "This is not a game," but he was just yelling.
I don't get the context. What was the context of that? There wasn't.
No, it was more of just like Sonya was explaining to Marco like about the fake grave, and she was just like, he's just playing with you, and that's when he goes, "This is not a game. I am a man.
I am a father."
I mean, like, this is not a game thing is getting me, but the I'm a man thing, I'm like, where's that come from? What does that have to do with anything?
Here's the
I am a man.
The thing I don't like, where Sonya sees more than Marco, is that, David Tate purposely drove them together to reconcile and to rebuild their relationship just to pull them apart, which I think is so screwed up. You know what I mean? You lost your son, but why? And I know you want to take, what does he say? The sins of a mother for the sins of a father. So he's taking, his son was taken because of his mother's actions, and now he's going to take Goose because of his father's actions. But I just feel like he's really screwed up. Like, really, it's not just about revenge anymore. It's like making it as painful as possible for everybody.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what people in the chat are saying. Like Ryan Wilson saying he's just looking to make Marco suffer. Joseph Boza saying, I mean, we all had our hearts broken relationships, but many people aren't like David Tate. No, they aren't.
That's what David Tate says, though. Doesn't he say, like, I'm different?
I'm different.
Or, yeah,
I'm special.
I'm special. I turned into a killer. Like,
Yeah, but I think I mean, that's what makes him a psychopath, right? Or a sociopath, you know?
I think it's still up for debate what
Whatever
the
he
official
is.
term is.
Whatever, yeah, right. Whatever term it
A
is.
magician, I think, is what we've
A
moved on to.
magician, because he
Yeah.
can be everywhere.
Yeah, a magician.
Always.
That's right. He's not a sociopath. He's not a psychopath. He's a magician.
upgraded.
Straight up magician. He's shooting magic
He's
everywhere.
got magic.
But they end up going to this home, which has as Marco remembers, it's actually, I believe, David Tate's uncle.
Mr. Chambers.
When they met Mr. Chambers, he goes, he had an uncle who had Alzheimer's, and so
Right.
his uncle thinks that David Tate's his father, and so he puts two and two together. They must be. That must be the uncle.
But that leads him to
The uncle's
going to the uncle's home, and then they end up finding the ice bucket where all the legs were.
Well, not all the legs, just the legs.
The legs.
The legs.
how,
the Christina Fuentes legs.
Sonya in a sling, just got out of the hospital, bleeding.
She's running.
She's the one who kicks down the door, not Marco.
No, Marco kicked down the door. She yelled it. Marco kicked it.
Still, but she was the one leading the way.
Yeah, I know.
Wouldn't you think Marco would take the lead?
Marco's sleep deprived. He can't do anything. He can't
That's true.
function.
Here's the thing, though. They knock on the door. They're like, El Paso PD, open up, kick. And it's like, they don't even, if somebody was even there trying to open the door, you just barreled them over. They're gone now, so.
Yeah. So Ryan Whittleson kind of saying that, I think he said this on YouTube as well, but he kind of feels like David Tate's sort of like a Joker-esque character in a sense, like
no,
just
I see
like
that.
playing with him, kind of like how the Joker plays with Batman. It seems like Joker's just playing with Marco.
It's legitimately a game. It really is, and it's about how much you can make Marco suffer.
But Marco said it's not a game.
But it is a game.
No, this is not a game!
Marco wishes this was not a game, but it is a game. It's a big game.
Yeah. So they end up finding this, or while they're there, I mean, they don't find anything, but while they're there, Marco gets a call from David Tate to come by himself. And this is the first moment that we see Sonya actually
Hand over
breaking,
the reins.
yeah, like kind of like, well, no, but I was gonna say like breaking order and doing something that's against the books.
I think she's like almost delirious now. 'cause
Yeah, I
she's, like,
agree.
I think she's just at the end of her rope.
Well, yeah, she is, but I
Physically.
mean, still, you would never see her at all breaking the rules. No matter what, she doesn't break the rules. She doesn't break the handbook. It's just not her.
And then she gives him her gun.
Yeah,
just
she
like-
gives him her gun, and then she he tells her to lie, and she doesn't necessarily lie per se, but she just doesn't say the whole truth, which is very not her character. So this is the first time that we've seen that from her.
I like it. I think it's showing her making a connection with Marco and knowing that she really has to be here for him at this point. And I think a lot of it probably has to do with the fact that she feels responsible for what happened to Goose, and she feels like she kind of owes this to him. Even though she knows he's playing into the hands of, David Tate, she's handing him over to whatever the master plan is, but I think she's just hoping she can figure it out while he's doing his thing. Because Marco's no use to her right now. Really. He's too distraught. He's too psychologically, he's lack of sleep. He's stressed out. His son's missing. His wife just got almost blown up. I mean, she's probably better off on her own, even though she is bleeding from the side.
That's such a thing you don't hear very often. His wife almost got blown up.
His
She's, like,
son's
confident.
drowning. Yeah.
Everyone keeps just doing what Tate wants them to do, though. I mean, they recognize it too, but they just keep doing it.
I
Yeah.
know.
No one's had like an outside the box plan. Like maybe we should just do it differently, or
Well, now she's kind of trying to. She's like, it's all in the documents, somewhere in the documents.
I hope they find out. I think she's going to work towards Goose, and then Tate's going to put his focus on Marco. So I don't think Marco's going to have any hand in finding Goose at all. I don't think he's going to be able to because he's going to be with, David Tate. But here's my question. Is Daniel Frye in the trunk?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think he's
think
at an
he-
undisclosed location.
I think he's in an undisclosed location that David Tate the magician warped him to. It just
Okay.
Poofed him to.
I'll hold this for later, I guess, then. Because just from what we see in the previews, I'm just
Yeah.
confused as to where David Tate... Not,
Yeah, we'll
Daniel
talk about that
Frye
for
is.
predictions.
Yeah.
But so let's go ahead and talk about then Marco, though, that scene where Marco... I mean, I gotta say, I actually like that the very first moment with Marco is just him walking up and just starting to strangle him.
But then he realizes he can't kill him because if he kills him, he can't find Goose.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just more of like a good moment of like... I mean, it was almost just like Marco just taking control of like, you're not gonna mess with me, like, I'm not gonna take anything or even listen to what you have to say. Which is nice to me because usually you get like the killer getting these like long monologues and going on and on. It's just nice to see what could have been a turn. It wasn't.
You
but,
kind of
like,
feel like they were old Frye. You kind of get the sense that they were, even on the phone call, they were talking to each other like
understanding.
buddies. Like, not buddies, but ex-buddies at
Not
least.
buddies. Yeah. I think that...
They used to star in a buddy cop comedy together, actually.
That's the spin-off, actually.
Yeah.
This show.
I think that, though, Kenneth or Dave Tate, he is very short, and to the point. He's not like going on these rants or anything, you know what I mean? He's just saying the facts. This is what happened. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. He's very, calculated.
We also see Marco being completely honest about all those questions, like, did you sleep with my wife in my bed?
I think he knows, though. I think David Tate knows, and if Marco doesn't answer correctly...
I think so, too, but I mean, it's just interesting as a character note that Marco does.
No, I agree.
Respond honestly. I mean, I'm sure Marco probably figures, like, okay, what do I got to lose? I'm just going to tell him everything. I'm sure he thinks that exact same thing. Like, he'll kill my son if I don't say the truth.
Right, yeah.
It was kind of interesting. That meeting was, like, in a sort of public place, too. There was, like...
Yeah, there's people going by and...
Yeah. It was kind of a weird place for a meeting like that.
I think the problem is...
Well, because David Tate knows that Marco, if he shoots him in a public place, then Marco's going to jail, so he wins.
And not only that, it's just like Marco knows he can't do anything because then he won't find Goose. If David ends up behind bars or if he hurts David, he's not going to get what he wants. He's going to lose his son. So
Well, why would Marco go to jail if he shot
Because he doesn't have the rights to bear arms at this point in time.
Yeah.
Because Sonya filed a complaint against him.
Oh, yeah.
And so they took his gun away.
Still, didn't you think it would, like, get the...
I think it would be considered
good-
self-defense in some sort of way.
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel like it
I don't
should
know
be.
if you could at that point, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if they realized it was the killer, they somehow let him get away with it. I'm sure. But I mean, regardless, he's not going to find out where his son is if they do that.
Right, yeah.
But if only he just trusted Sonya, because I think Sonya will end up finding
I
son
also...
and just shot him. Be like, I don't care.
Right. I also, David Tate asks these questions and Margot answers truthfully. And then Margot asks him questions and he answers truthfully saying he slept with Alma or I slept with your wife. And then he calls him a liar. It's like, oh, if only you knew. He's not lying.
Well,
He's not lying.
I don't think, well, Marco doesn't even ask. David Tate just taunts him
Well,
with
yeah,
it.
he says it,
just
but
throws
he's
it
like,
out there.
liar.
Oh, I slept with your wife, too.
Yeah.
Because Marco doesn't believe his innocent wife could ever do something like that.
Alma, she was out for revenge.
Yeah.
That Alma.
I thought she was like, I mean, of course it was a rebound and revenge, but I thought she was kind of into Mr. Hastings.
I think she's a rebound. He's constantly showed interest in her, and she has a reason now to go for him. I think it could have been any guy that was interested in her. It's just that Kenneth made a point to be that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or David,
Right.
It's a well-hatched scheme.
Very well hatched. Man, that's...
Like, what if Alma, just hated him and, as Kenneth Hastings, she was like, ew, he's a creep, I don't like him.
Yeah.
And
He
she
was
never...
creepy.
I thought so,
I
but
thought he was creepy, too.
she liked him, so I'm just confused as to, there were so many things in this plan that could have gone wrong. Goose didn't have to talk to Xena.
How did David Tate know that he would be the shoulder that she would want to cry on?
Because he made himself the shoulder.
But how did he know she would be okay?
She would be okay with it. No, I know. It's just, I don't know.
He put on the creepy moves and they worked.
Creepy.
Guys, take notes.
Don't do that.
Be a magician.
Be a magician. Bust some magic out. You'll get a girl.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're learning from this show. Follow the moves of David Tate.
Don't do that. Oh,
so it ends with Marco going off with him, though, and in the car, and that's kind of how it ends on that note. And then Sonya kind of thinking she needs to check the documents. That's where we end. So with that,
we end with a horrible shot of Goose, close to
drowning.
drowning.
Close to drowning.
That's how it ends, and it's so quiet. It's it's just that image.
He
And
still
then
had
it's
about it was only like
he got a while.
a quarter of the way
It was
full.
it was only if he'd been standing up. It was only at his ankle.
I know. Gosh.
Stand up, Goose.
If only
Use
he
your
could
head.
hear us. Use your head.
Use your head.
How far do you think it's gonna be full before Sonya finds it?
I think neck high.
Okay.
I'll be like, yeah,
Or
it's
is it like
gonna.
the note, the
He's
knob?
gonna
Yeah,
have his mouth.
It's gonna be one of those suspenseful things where it's just about there,
Yeah.
and he's practically drinking the water
And then
from
she
the
breaks
animal.
in and the water explodes
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah.
And then they give a big hug and
Yeah, and then he's like, "This is why I love you, Sonya."
Yeah. Then he falls more in love with Sonya.
This is why I don't care about that girl I'm texting,
Xena.
Xena. So let's go ahead and talk about some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Well, we all just predicted that.
Yeah.
That one big
So basically,
scene.
Sonya. So I think the big prediction right there is Sonya's gonna figure it out.
I'm going to double down on my last week prediction and sort of change it a little bit.
Double
Okay.
down.
Charlotte pregnant
Yeah.
with Marco's baby.
Whoa.
Could very well be pregnant with Marco's baby. If it's only been a month.
Wait, but he had gotten that surgery though.
Oh, yeah, he had. Here's my question.
Did it-
If that vasectomy was hurting him so badly he couldn't sit down, how could he have sexual intercourse with Charlotte?
Because
Without it ripping open
Because
or
a
whatever?
man gets excited. I don't.
I know, but doesn't that hurt? I'm sure that would hurt. You're not supposed to have sex
You
for,
work through the pain.
You do what
All
you
right, so
gotta do.
Pregnant with somebody's baby, most likely Ray's, but Doubling down.
Maybe Marcos.
There it is.
Okay.
Well, apparently the vasectomy didn't work for Alma, so I mean.
I think we are going to save Goose, as we've all predicted. I think they're going to stop David from blowing himself up on the bridge from what we saw. I think that's not going to go down, or hopefully in some way, maybe they just toss him into the water and then he goes down by himself. But my prediction is that now that we know where David Tate is, we know where Goose is. Well, we're assuming we find out where Goose is. It's about Daniel Frye, and that's going to be what's going to snowball.
I think we were kind of talking about this during the show, and I think it was actually Paige. You said this, that it would be where Marco is going to get there and have to make a choice where he'd have to be manipulating to either killing Daniel Frye to find out where his son is, or not killing Daniel Frye and never knowing. And I think that actually, I'd agree with that prediction. I think that might be what's going to happen, is we're going to have to see Marco have to try and make a hard decision of, does he kill Daniel Frye and have to cold-blooded murder someone to find out where his son is, or he'll never get that information. I think that's the conundrum that David Tate's going to try and use to manipulate
So
and
that's
mess with
where
him.
Daniel Frye comes in.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So that was actually, I think, you who said that first.
Yeah,
I'm
I
giving
did.
you the
Nope.
credit. I think that's
I did say that.
That would be quite the scene.
yeah, I think that's
Honestly,
a really
I think he
accurate
would
prediction.
kill Daniel Frye, so...
He
Sorry, nice to see you, Daniel.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Marco's not a killer though. I don't.
No, I don't think he's a killer, but when it comes to saving your kid, I don't...
Well, yeah.
I think people will literally do anything.
But he's gonna have that moment of like, can I do it?
Maybe
Well, if
he'll
he's
just, like...
Charlotte, he'll just pull the trigger.
Well, yeah, if it was Charlotte, he needs Charlotte there.
I just be like, Daniel, pretend that you're dead. Just play dead. Don't really die.
Right,
He
just
will
have-
like
Like shoot him in the leg
Right,
or something.
yeah, shoot him
and
in
then
the shoulder.
Have him pretend he's dead. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
a fake arm or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something.
All right, well, guys, that wraps us up for this week. So, again, thank you so much for joining us for this week's Bridge After Show. And I think next week's going to be the big week, and concluding a lot of what's going to be happening. And, guys, once again, I'm Dave Klein. You can find me on Twitter at @TheDaveKlein. That is Klein.
Yes, and I am Paige Sullivan. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Paige Sull.
I'm Tommy Rasera, and you can find me on Twitter at Thomas JAYR.
I think I was looking at that camera instead of that camera.
Yeah,
We'll see you
yeah.
guys next week. Later.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.